what are the assignments that are relevant from sales org, what do we assign to sales org, what is assigned to a company code, what is assigned to a distribution channel, likewise, and how the assignments work, how the relationship is, like for example, sales org to company code is a unique assignment, that is one-to-one assignment. Similarly, we saw many distribution channels can be assigned to one sales org, many divisions can be assigned to one sales org. Then we saw how the assignment of plant is made to company code, then how a plant is assigned to a combination of sales org distribution channel, and we saw how a shipping point is assigned to a plant, and then we saw how uh, this assignment is, that is many to many relationship that is between plant and a shipping point. So what are the essential features of all these organizational elements where it is considered, everything we have seen yesterday. So I hope you guys had a chance to look into the training content, and if you have any doubts on this, we can discuss now before we move on to our next concepts.
No, sir.
Okay, that looks good. So today, before we start with our discussions, we will just have a navigation of this SAP screen and how this SAP screen looks like. So as you see on my screen, this is called the SAP Easy Access screen. So whenever you log in to the SAP, you will get a screen like this. So this screen you see here has a different features that are built into this, and different areas are present in this screen. So here you see this is the menu bar, menu, edit, favorites, extra, system, help. This is the menu bar. So by clicking on this, you will have different options, like if you click on here, it will take you to SAP menu, it will take you to business workplace. So all these things, if you click this, it will take you to the business workplace. So this is the business workplace screen. So likewise, you can go to the SAP menu, main menu. You can close this, go to the main menu. So now this is the menu bar. After this, you have this SAP EC Access is written here. So this is the title. So this is called the title bar. And here you have different tools here, like find. If you want to find anything, you can click. If you want to create another window like this, you can click on this new GUI window. So that will create another window. So this is called the tools. These are different tools that are present here. So this is called the toolbar. This is called the menu bar. This is the title bar. Here you have some space where the system will allow you to type any command here. So this is called the command bar. So I will tell you what is the use of this command bar in some time. So this is the SAP EC Access screen. So whenever you open the SAP system, here the system will open in this EC Access view. So this view here, our primary focus will lie on this logistics part. So sales and distribution related functionalities are present in this logistics view. This is something like a tree structure. So if you can keep on expanding this, if you click on this arrow, it will expand into multiple options. Here again, if you go and click on the sales and distribution, so our focus will lie only on this sales and distribution. So now if you select this arrow, it will open another tree structure. Again, if you go to this, click on sales, it will open another tree. And if you go and click on this order, it will open another tree. So now here you see there are different options: create, change, and display. So now what does this create mean? So now I will try to select this, and if I double click on this, it will open this create sales order screen. So this is the screen where you can go and create your sales order. So now you are going into the screen, so with the help of this menu path. So this is one way of going into a particular screen of creating a sales order. Now if you want to display a sales order which you already created, then you can select this and double click on this. So here, if you already know the number of the sales order which you already created, you can put that number here, and if you press enter, the sales order what you already created will open. So this is one way of accessing the screens. Now here, instead of going through this menu path, there is another option which you can use, which is called the transaction code. So what is a transaction code? Transaction code is nothing but it is a shortcut which has been created inside the system. So if you apply the transaction code, it will straight away take you to the transaction instead of going through this menu path. Now let us try to display the transactions code along with this. Now you see here create, change, display. So here you don't see any transaction codes. Let us try to set up that transaction code here. Can go to options. Okay, I will check this option of bringing the transaction codes to display the transaction codes here. Uh, Before that, let us try to understand a few transaction codes that we would be using in our day-to-day activities. So for example, if you have to create a sales order, we use this transaction code VA01, for example. So this transaction code you can type in this command field. So here you have this field where you can type this transaction code, and if you press enter, it will straight away take you to this create sales order screen without you having to go through the menu path. So this is an easier option of. Now if you want to go to the change mode of the sales order, you don't need to do anything here. The system it can remain in the initial easy access screen. So it just once you open here, just go here and type VA02. It will take you to the change mode of the sales order. So now if you want to go back, now here you have this screen. Now you want to go back to the easy access screen. You have two options. Either you click this back button, or you go to this transaction. Already you are in this transaction. Now you can type here /n. If you type here /n and press enter, it will take you to the back screen. Now if you want to come out of the entire session, then you can put /nex. What it will do? So it will come out of the entire system. So again we need to log in. So now I have logged in again. So if you put /n, it will take you to the one step behind. If you put /nex, it will totally log out of the system. Now here you have this option. If you click this also, the system will log off. It will ask you whether you want to log off. If you press yes, it will log off. So this is another option. Now, for example, we have seen all these menu path. The more important thing is from a end user perspective, the system, they will be using more of these transactions which are present inside this path, like creating a sales order, creating master data, creating invoices. All this will happen inside this. But as a consultant, your focus should be on how to implement all these inside the system. For that, our focus will always be on go to tools, go to customizing, go to IMG, execute project. So if you double click, it takes us to this customizing execute project screen. In this, if you click on SAP reference IMG, here it will take us to the menu path where we can customize our own requirements. Here you have sales and distribution. Now you select this tree, you can go to sales. You can see what are the underlying configurations that work in the front end. So whatever you have seen before in the SAP Easy Access screen is the front end. So if you want to understand how those behaves, then you need to go here in the screen, in the customizing screen, and you can see how these are configured. Now, for example, how a standard sales order is configured. You can go here, you can execute this. These are the different standard sales document types that are present inside the system. So you want to check how the standard sales document type OR is configured. You select this and you can click on details. It will open this window where you can see the different configurations which the system will allow you to change the behavior based on the settings here. So we will go one by one into the detailed settings on how this is maintained inside the system. But for now, what you need to understand is we have an option to customize the screen and the different business process which we were telling yesterday, like how to customize. So that is, if you want to go there, you need to go take this path, tools, customizing, IMG, execute project, and it will go there. Here you need to click on SAP reference IMG. So if you want to go to this SAP reference this screen directly, then what you can do, you can give here SPRO. This is the transaction code. If you type SPRO and press enter, the system will directly take you to this screen. Here you can go and click on SAP reference IMG. So here, from here you can navigate to the different things. Now yesterday we have seen an enterprise structure. So now here you have this option of enterprise structure. You can select this, go to definition. Inside definition, go to sales and distribution. Here you have define, copy, delete, check sales organization. You select this, you can go to define sales org, double click on that. These are the different sales orgs that are already configured inside the system. So now you can create your own sales org. You can go to new entries, select, you can create your sales org. So any custom things that you are creating, you can use the Z and then you put some number. So you give some name to your sales org, test sales org. Then you press enter. And the system will create your own sales org. Now you can go and create address. You can provide address of your sales org, and then if you save it, the system will create your, if you want to save, you have to press this button. The system will save the details of your sales org. But if you want to already view the sales orgs which are already created, then what you can do, you can go to define sales org. So now you want to just look at how the sales org 0001 is configured. Select this, click on details. It will provide you all the details. Like here, if you select this address, it will give the address of the sales org. So where the sales org is present. So this is how you configure a sales org. Now this is present as part of the enterprise structure. Now we can see there are 63 sales orgs that are configured inside this system. So similarly, you can create, if you want to usually create a sales org, what you do generally, you select one sales org and you have the option of copy. So you can just copy the sales org and you can rename it. So if we want to rename this as Z001, then the system will automatically copy the contents of the sales org and it will create a new sales org. So usual options are to copy an existing sales org and create a new one. This not only applies to sales org, but for any configuration that you attempt to do inside SAP, you need to copy an existing and create your own new, and inside that you can go and change the fields whichever you intend to change. So similarly, you can go and check distribution channel, you can create your sales office, you can create your sales group, and then inside logistics general you have plant creation, divisions you can create here, and inside logistics execution you will have the creation of shipping point. So these are the places where you can go and check for the creation of or the definition of the enterprise structures. So once you have defined your enterprise structures, you need to assign them. So the next step inside enterprise structure is assignment. You can select here, can go to sales and distribution. So here whatever assignments we saw, how to set up sales area. So you can set up your own sales area. Here you can see there are many sales areas that are present. So 00010100 is one sales area. Likewise, there are many sales areas that have been configured. If you want to create your own sales areas, you can go to new entry, give your own sales or distribution channel and division and save that. So that will create a sales area which you wanted to create. Now similarly, you can see you are assigning of sales org to company code, assign distribution channel to sales org, assign division to sales org, assign sales office to sales area, sales group to sales office. So this is another plant, assign sales org, distribution channel plant. So these are the different assignments that we discussed yesterday. Now similarly, you want to assign a plant shipping point to a plant, you can go here, you can assign shipping point to a plant. So here if you execute this, see this is the plant 0001, and to this plant we have assigned many, these are the shipping points that are assigned to this plant. So first level is the plant, next level is the shipping points. So for this plant we have these many shipping points that are assigned. So you can create your own plans, you can create your own shipping points, you can make your own assignments. So these are the places where the definition and assignment of the enterprise structure happens inside the system. So this is what we discussed yesterday. So if you go into the practical exercises, so I hope you all have the practical exercise handbook with you. Anyone who does not have it, hello.
Sir, a practical handbook means?
You have this study materials, right?
You means books?
Yeah, you have it or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in that in the behind of every exercise unit, you will be having some practical exercises. Can you check if you are able to see that? Are you able to see the exercises, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See now,
Yes,
I
sir. Yes.
hope you're all able to see
Yes,
my
sir.
screen. So in this screen now, if you see, I have enabled the transaction codes along with this menu. So essentially what you need to do, just go to extras. In the settings, you can go and tick this display technical names. So if you check this, then against each and every menu, you will have the transaction code also displayed. So now in this case, if you want to create a sales order, you can go here and you can see what is the transaction code that you need to create. So you can use VA01 to create a transaction. Similarly, for master data, for example, if you are trying to create a customer master data, so you can go into customer. Now if you want to create, what are the options or what are the transaction codes that we can use to create our customer master, we can see here. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
So in the exercises, if you see, let me show you the exercises where you want to check. Now TSEM 60 part 1. This is the exercise handbook which you would might have in your with you now.
Yes, sir.
So is this the one, right?
Yes, sir.
So the exercise for unit 1. So here what you can do is you have different questions like the name, the organizational units. So similarly identify overall organizational units. So these questions you can please try to attempt to all these questions. Okay. And there will be some organizational structures related things in unit 11 as well, which we discussed yesterday. So in unit 1 completely you will have exercise 1, 2, and here it will be like you can go into the menu path and you can see how these are created. All these menu related exercises will be present here. You can take some time and you can try to do the exercises for unit 1 and unit 11 today. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts you have, you can reach out to me. So here you have set up enterprise structures. So this unit 11 also you have these many questions. So for unit 1 and unit 11 you can go ahead and perform the exercises. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any doubts specific to this navigation what I have shown you from anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, so one more thing, guys, which I did not inform you. See, now, for example, you have a specific field inside this transaction. For example, now you are trying to create a sales order. Now here this field, right, where you need to fill your order type. So now we are filled their order type as OR. So you would, for example, if you don't know what order type to fill, then you have two uh, help help options you have inside the system. One is called the F1 help and another is called the F4 help. So if you keep your cursor here and press F4, the system will open a window which will provide you all the options for this particular field. So what are the options that you can fill? It will be coming up as a pop-up window. So this is called the F4 help. Essentially, these are called the match codes. So these essentially these elements, whatever you are seeing here, you see some entries here, right? So these are all called the match code, and you can select anyone. Now you can select this. Now the system will populate this here. Now you want to know more information about this field. So what is the significance of this field or what this field is doing here? So if you select F1, you place the cursor there and you press F1. This F1 help will tell you more about this field. So this field is called the sales document type. So what is the use of this field? So what is the examples that we can use to populate this field? So these are the information that will be provided for each and every field that you come across in the sales and distribution, or essentially inside SAP. So this is called the technical help. So F1 is called the help, and F2, F4 is another help which will provide you with the details of the options that you can come up with. So now if you want to have more details, technical level details, then you click on this technical information, which will give you what is the program name, what is the screen number, what is the table name, what is the field name inside the table. As far as SAP goes, each and every information, either it can be a system information, or it can be a transactional data information, or it can be a master data information. They are stored in database tables. So all these tables, for example, if you create a sales order, then the information about the sales order, you can view it in the front end by calling these transactions VA02 or VA03, etc. But in the background, these information about the sales order will be stored as a table, database table. So that table, now for example, you have order. In order, we have three parts. One is called the order header, another is the order item, and another is the order schedule line. So the header related information when you create a sales order will be stored in a header table. The item related information will be stored in an item table. And the schedule line related information will be stored in a schedule line table. So each table will have its own name. So now here you are looking at a header part. So the table name relevant here is VBAK, and this is the field AUART. Now this is the name of the field AUART, this order type. This field is called AUART. That is the technical field, and this comes inside VBAK table. Now if you want to look at the table, how we can look at the table is, we have a transaction SE16N. So you need to remember this transaction SE16N. We will be frequently using this transaction, which we call it as the data browser. So SE16N, you can type here and press enter. So now you want to have a look at all the sales orders that are already created in the system. So you can go here, you can, if you know the table name, go to VBAK. This is the sales document header table, and type VBAK and press enter. Now if you want to filter by certain criteria, so you want to know the details of the orders that was created in the last 1 month. So you can put from August to today's date. You want to have a list of all the sales orders that were created. Press, you can execute. This is the execution. You press execute. So there are no data, no sales orders were created. So let us put here, put number of, select number of entries to see. Okay, so we don't have any orders inside this system. So there are no orders present basically. So this is one way of searching for already existing documents inside the system, if you know the tables. So there are 7,240 orders that are existing. So let us try to restrict the entries to 5, and we try to execute. So these are all the sales documents that are already existing in the system. So now if you want to view the sales order, you can select this, copy this number, Control C, and put one more session. Go to VA03, the transaction, to display the sales order. Paste here the sales order number here, press enter. It will display the sales order. So this is how a sales order will look like. Here you can see the sold to party, shipped to party. This is the purchase order number. This is the material. This is the quantity. and this is the plant. So all these are some of the information that is present inside the sales order. So we will look at each of this information. Don't get panic now. We will look at this information separately. I am just showing you how to look at the transactional data that is already existing in the system. So this is an example of a transactional data. Already created sales orders, deliveries, invoices form part of the transactional data. There is something called the master data. Master data is like a one-time activity that we perform inside the system. So here in the sales order, now you are looking at this example of a sales order. So from here, if you see what are the information that is present in the sales order, you can see. So the information whatever you see here, this section here, you see here this section, this is called the header, and whatever you see here is the item level detail. So this up till this section fully will be the part of the sales orders header, and this will be the item level details. Now here you see the sales area for which this order was created. Now you select this, it will display the header details. If you want to display the item, you select this item or you double click on this item, it will take you to the item level details. So this is the item data. So now header data, you can select this, it will take you to the header data. So inside the header you can see what is the order type that was used, what is the sales area, what is the sales office, what is the sales group, who has created this order, when was it created, at what time it was created. All this information you can see. So now a sales order is an example of a transactional data. Now inside the sales order, you have something called, whenever you want to create a sales order, like example, now let me attempt to create a sales order. Let us use this menu path, go to logistics, sales and distribution, sales order. Now let me try to create a sales order. So what order type we will use? Let us use OR. What sales org? We will check what sales org was used in this screen. Sorry. Somehow I am not able to see the SAP screen. Okay. I hope you guys are able to still see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now whatever I have told you until now, I hope you are able to follow me, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so now let us attempt to create a sales order. So now we are using transaction BA01. Now we will use a standard sales document type OR, and sales org. We will check what is the sales org. Sales org is 1000, distribution channel is 12, division is 00. So now we'll use the same here, 1000, 12, 00. Press enter. Now this is the next screen which you see after you provide the sales document type and the sales area data in the VA01 transaction. The system is taking you to this screen. Here you see that there are fields which we are required to enter so that we can create our own sales document. Now here there is a standard order number. So this you need not worry about this field. Once you save the sales order number, the sales order number will get generated and it will get updated in this place. Now you have something here called the sold to party, ship to party, purchase order number and purchase order date. So what is this fields do here? So now sold to party is the person who has placed the order, and ship to party is the person who is going to receive the order. Purchase order is something like the customer's purchase order. So customer is trying to purchase something from you. So he might have placed a purchase order with you. So if you have that number, you can update here. If you don't have also, it doesn't matter. It is a free text field. You can enter anything here. The system will accept. So like you can enter whatever you want, you can enter here. Just an identification of the customer's purchase order number based on which this sales order is being created is what we need to mention. So we will mention here test 123 as the purchase order number, and the purchase order date we will maintain it as today's date, for example. Now here you have something called the sold to party and something called the ship to party, and here you need to enter the material and you need to enter the quantity. Once you enter the material quantity, the sold to, ship to, other aspects of the sales order would get determined automatically. So how the automatic determination of the other data inside the sales order happens, that is we will discuss in our forthcoming sessions. But at this point of time, we are trying to understand what kind of data is required for us to create a sales order. So now if you see here, you need a sold to party, you need a ship to party, you need the material. These are the information that we are required to have so that they can be provided inside the system, and we will create our own sales order. Now a customer, like for example you have a customer, so this customer is called a partner type. So partner type, we have different partner types. One is a customer, another is a vendor. So likewise we have many partner types in the system. So inside that partner type, now for example let us take the partner type customer. So what are the different possibilities, or what are the different behaviors which a customer can exhibit? A customer can behave as a sold to party, he can behave as a ship to party, he can behave as a bill to party, he can behave as a payer. So these are some of the standard partner functions which a customer can adopt. So what is a sold to party? Sold to party is nothing but the person who places the order. Ship to party is nothing but the person who receives the material. Bill to party is the person who receives the invoice, and payer is the person who is responsible for making the payment of the order, payment for the order. So one customer, partner type customer, he can behave in 4 different ways. He can act as a sold to, he can act as a ship to, he can act as a bill to, he can act as a payer. So these, for example, now you have a customer who can behave as all. He can be a sold to, he can be a ship to, he can be a bill to, he can be a payer. On the other hand, there could be different partner functions as well. You create one customer as a sold to customer. He will be having a different bill to customer. He will be having a different payer. He will have a different ship to. So that is also possible. These are the partner functions that are present inside the partner type. So now, why do we need to have this customer or the material created in the system? So customer is nothing but a master data. Material is yet another master data. So now whenever you create an order, every time you cannot go and fill in the details for the customer. So what is the name of the customer, where that guy lives, what are the partner functions for that customer, what is the payment term that we use for this customer, which delivering plant we will use for this customer. So there are lots of such information which we need to key in to create a customer inside the system. So if we don't create a customer, what would happen? Every time we will end up creating our own customers. That will lead to error. So in order to avoid that and to make the life of a end user simpler, we create master data and keep it. And whenever we want to use them, we can use it. So now we can create our customers, we can create our materials, and we can create some other master data like price master data, output master data, customer material related master data. All these we can create on our own and we can place it. So now just for our understanding, there are different sets of master data. So one is the customer master and another is the material master and another is the customer information, another is the price master, another is the are the 5 different master data that we will be dealing with in our day-to-day discussions. So now first let us try to understand what is a customer master. So customers can be created specific to sales area. Then there are 3 different views in which you can create a customer master. One will be the general data view, next is the sales area view, another is the company code view. So general data view, it will be common to all sales areas and company codes. Sales area view will be specific to a sales area. Code view will be specific to a company code. Now, general data view. So what is a general data? What do you mean by a general data? Now let us assume that inside this we have this sold to party 2133. Let us assume that we are using this. Sorry, what is the sold to party 1033? So this is the sold to party 1033. Here we are using ship to also is getting populated as 1033. Now this customer already exists in the system. What does his name? His name is Carson High Tech Market. There is some address for this guy. So now let us see how do we display a customer. You can go to logistics, sales and distribution, master data. Here you go to business partner, go to customer. Customer is a business partner. You are trying to create change or display. Now let us try to display this customer. So there are two transactions which we can use. Now if you want to use to display or create a customer centrally, which includes all the views like company code view, sales area view and general view, then you use this transaction XD03. No, you don't want to create display or create or change a customer in the company code view. Only you are interested about the sales area view. Then you use this transaction VD03. So let us look at the central view. Now this is a complete view. So XD03 we will look at how this looks. We can now display this customer 1033 and we are trying to understand to which sales areas he has been extended to. So he has been extended to the sales area 1000, 12 and 00. Now select this. We will see to what company code this guy is been created for. This guy is created for company code 1000. So select this, press enter. So this is how the customer master looks like. So here you see the general data is a view in which you have opened this system now. From this you can navigate to the sales area data or company code data. On the other hand, if you had used this transaction VD03 to display this customer, then it will not ask you for company code information. Just press enter. The system will open in the general data. Then you have only one option, sales area data. You don't have the company code view. So this is how you toggle between these two views. Now, what is a general data? General data, I told you, it is common to both sales area and company code views. So what information does the general data you can see here? It has the name, it has the address, so it has the phone number, it has the language in which you can communicate with this customer. Then you can see the telephone number, fax number, email address, etc. So this data what you see here like name, address, it will remain same even if you change the sales area, even if you change the company code, still the customer will remain the same. You have this customer Carson High Tech Market, so you have extended him to the sales area 1000, 12 and 00. Now you are trying to extend this customer to another sales area like 2000, distribution channel 22 and division 10. Even if the sales area changes, will the customer's name or address going to change? No, right? So irrespective of which sales area you extend the customer, the general data always remains the same. And this is the case with company code as well. So irrespective of whichever company code you extend the customer to, the general data will always remain the same. Now inside general data, what are the different? So now here you can go and select general data. These are the different tabs. So you have data about the control data. Here it will have the information about which transportation zone will be used by this customer. Inside marketing you have what kind of industry this customer is looking at, what is the class of this customer, so many other fields that will be present here. So if you want to have more details about these fields, you can straight away place your cursor in this field, press F1. So it will take you to the help window which will explain you more details about that field. So now we can have export data, you have contact person. So these are the different fields or tabs that are present inside the general data. Similarly, if we go to the sales area data, here you can see sales related information. Sales, here you will see the shipping related information. Here you will see billing related information, what payment terms, what is Incoterms that will be used. Then here you go to the partner functions. Now as far as this customer has almost 5 partners here. So what is the ship to party? If this customer is used as a sold to, the ship to will also be the same. This is the same customer who is going to place the order, and he is only going to receive the material as well, and he is going to receive the invoice as well because he is the bill to party, and he is the one who is going to make the payment as well because he is the payer. You have additional another partner function, sales employee assigned to this customer. So yesterday we saw, right, this we have a sales personnel, he can be created as a customer. That's what we told yesterday. So here you see that we have created one customer 1205 as a sales employee, and we have assigned it to him through this customer. So whenever we use this customer, this is the person whom you need to get in touch with. He is the representative for this customer. So you can add him as a partner function here. So inside the company code view, if you want to go to the company code view of this customer, you can select this. Now inside company code, you will have information that are highly specific to finance, account management. What is the reconciliation account that we need to use? What are the payment transactions related information? What is the correspondence? How you correspond with this customer? What is the insurance related information? So these are highly specific to finance, guys. So company code view, general view, and sales area view. These are the three views in which you can have a customer extended or created. Now, whenever you create a customer, now you have seen how we display the customer. Now let us try to understand how we create a customer. Similarly, now we have these transactions VD03 and XD03 which we are used to display the customer. Similarly, we have transactions VD01 and XD01 to create customer. Now, if you want to create a customer centrally, that is including the company code view, then you select this XD01. Now you let us select this. Now, inside this screen, you have seen what is the account group that we will be using to create this customer. So now we have the option of creating this customer as a sold to, or a ship to, or a payer, or a bill to. So now let us try to select this account group 0001. Now we are trying to create this customer as a sold to customer. So you don't need to provide any customer number here. The system will automatically generate the number. So you can leave it blank, press enter. So here you see you get an error message. Account group sold to party uses external number assignment. Specify an account number. So this customer number we will need to provide. So let us create a customer called test and press enter. We need to enter number. So now let us enter a number 2033. Now the system has opened in the general data. So now you can give a title. What is this? Is a company. What is the name? So you can put test customer. So any such term we can use. We can use test. We can give some postal code or city. So you can give some city name. So let us give transportation zone. Give this transportation zone. Now this is complete. Now you can see here you have created some address. You can give 12 main road, something you can give. Now you can go to the next control data, payment transactions. If any of the field is mandatory, then the system will not allow you to go to the next tab. It will try to throw an error. Now you don't see any mandatory fields. The system is allowing you to pass on through all these things. Except we had this mandatory fields here, right? So here, how to know that if a field is mandatory, you can come out of here. And if there is a tick which appears here, like this, that means that field is a mandatory field. The system will not allow you to process without the field getting filled. Now once you maintain this general data, you can go to sales area data. Here you can give what sales district. Here also you can only fill the mandatory fields, don't need to fill other fields. So here you see the shipping condition is a mandatory field. You put 01. No other fields are mandatory. So tax is 0. Now here you see already all these customers partners are getting determined automatically. So this is because we have the partner determination activated for this. So all the partners are getting determined automatically. So now we can go to the company code data. So here if you want you can put the reconciliation account. Select the reconciliation account, anything. I'm just trying to create a customer. I'm not worried about the data. So data correctness accuracy is not needed at this point of time. We are just trying to create a customer. So now I have filled all these essential fields. Now I'll be saying this customer. So now we have successfully created this customer 2033 for this company code 1000 and sales area 101200. So now you have seen here when we attempt to create a customer, we are using account group. So what is the significance of this account group and how this account group influences the creation of the customer master is what we are going to see now. So a customer can be created as a sold to, he can be created as a ship to, he can be created as a bill to, or he can be created as a payer as well. So whenever you're creating the customers with different account groups, some of the fields would be marked as mandatory and some would be marked as optional. So those kind of settings are present inside the account group settings. So any doubts so far from any one of you? Are you guys clear on these concepts?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Others, Vikrant, Vivek, Saurabh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Onkar.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now you saw that we are using account group to create our customers. So what is this account group? Let us go here. Now we are going into the customizing part. Let us go to tools, customizing, IMG, SPRO, SAP reference IMG. Now here go to financial accounting, accounts receivable and accounts payable, customer accounts, master data, preparations for creating customer master, define account groups with screen layout. So select this option, execute this. Now you saw that sold to party we created with account group 0001. Ship to party we can use account group 0002. Likewise, we have different account groups. You can also create your own account groups. You can select this, copy as, you can create your own account group. Just rename this as that. The system will allow you to create your own account group. Now, let us not try to attempt to create any account group now. Let us look at the existing account group 0001 and how this looks like. You can select this, go and click on the details. Now here, what are the different views in which we can create the customer? Here you have general data, company code, sales area. Now select this general data, double click on this. Now here you are seeing all the different tabs that we saw in the customer master and the general view. Now I'm just showing you just for your comparison. In the general view, we saw these many tabs. All these tabs are present here. Address, communication, control, marketing, payment transaction, and all these are present. So now you can go and select address. Inside this, you have all these fields. So like now In the address, all these fields are there: title, name, search term, all these are there. So this is what are the field controls. So whichever fields you want to have it mandatory, you maintain it as a required entry. Whichever you feel that this is not required for this account group, you can maintain it as an optional entry. If you want to suppress some fields, so now they have suppressed PO box city, so that is not visible. So if you want to suppress some fields, why we are doing this? Because now when you are creating a customer as a sold to account, there could be possibilities that you may not require certain information to be filled up. So to ease the work of, or to reduce the work of the person who is creating the customer master, we are adopting this approach. Now, for example, you are creating a customer as a ship to party. This guy is only interested in receiving the goods. So he is not worried what is the payment term. So if a account group, for example, if you are using a ship to account group, like for example 0002, there you will see the terms of payment field will be made as an optional one, and it will not be, see, terms of payment inside the sales area data can go here in the building. See, payment term is an optional entry for this customer who is going to be created as a ship to account group. So for him only the interest is only on this shipping. So that is why everything will be present here. So likewise, if you want to create a customer as a payer, he is not interested about the Incoterms, or he is not worried about the delivering plant. He is not worried about the shipping conditions. He is only interested about the payment term and the tax related information. All that would be important for a person who is going to be created, or a customer who is going to be created as a payer or a bill to party. So this kind of flexibility the system is providing with the use of these account groups. So account group 0001, inside sales data, you have all these tabs: sales, shipping. So inside sales, if you select, these are the fields that are present inside the sales tab in the sales area view of the customer. So here all these fields, each and every field, they are providing as an option whether that field will be suppressed or that will be made as a mandatory field. So wherever you see a tick next to that field, that is a mandatory field, I told you. So how that field is made mandatory is because of this setting. Whether you may want to maintain a field as an optional entry, whether you want to just suppress the field, that will be decided based on the settings that is placed in the account group. Are you clear about this account group?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So you can create your own account groups. You can select this and you can copy as, you can copy and you can create your own account groups, and you can just once you get into the account group, you will be seeing all these views. First, address, company code view, sales area view, and the general view. And inside that views, you will select this, you will see the tabs that are present inside the view, and select those tabs. Inside that you will see the fields that we need to look at. So this is about the account groups. Now based on this, you can use the account groups and you can create your own customer master. So account group is the first and primary requirement that we need to provide to the system to create a customer master. Okay, so you can go into the exercise and you can try to create your own account groups. You can try to create a customer master. So today you can attempt to create your own customer master, and if you face any challenges, you can let me know, and we can discuss that in our tomorrow's session, before we start our tomorrow's session. So today your focus will be to look at the exercises for unit 1 and unit 11, and then you can attempt to set up master data like customer master. Now this customer master we have created, and I have shown you how to display the customer, and I have shown you what is the account group. So with this we are we can see that 1 second. See, number ranges here it will be assigned. So here you can see that number range group, here it is 01, 02, 03, all these are the number range groups, and each account group would use a particular number range group. So in our case, I think our number range group sold to party was using this number range group 01, so it is marked as external. So if it is not marked as external, then the system itself will generate the number when you try to create a customer. So here you can go and see number range intervals. No. The assign number ranges to customer account groups. See, for our sold to party account group, which we used, the number range is 01 is assigned. So 01, what is 01 mean? 01 is inside intervals, you can see 01. This is what whenever we attempted, it asked us to provide a number from this to this. If you remember that error window which popped up when we did not give the number. Why? Because it is an external number range. We need to provide the number and it has to be within this range. If it is an internal number, then the system will automatically propose or create a customer with the number, and the last status is this one. So this is the number until which customers are created. So the next customer which would get created would be 100306 when if the account group is having this number range assignment 02. Are you clear about this number range?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So now this is one part of the master data. Now we are creating the standard order. If you see, we now managed to create our order with this master data. Sold to and shipped to is now populated. Now we need to know the second master data, material master. So material, what is a material master? So material is nothing but the product that we are selling. So what are the products that we are selling? Every day we cannot keep changing, right? So our company will have its own set of products which we are selling. So that is represented as a division. So each material, we need to create the individual materials, like our company, for example, it is selling automobiles, then we need to create the automobile materials in the master data. And we are selling spares, you need to create those spares also as a material master, so that we use it in the system. Now you are attempting to pack your materials before shipping. Those packaging materials also needs to be created in the system as a material master. Otherwise, the system will not allow you to use that material to pack your product. So all these materials we need to create. Now, for example, you are using a service, you are in a service industry and you are trying to do some kind of a service. Now, for example, you are in a business of servicing refrigerators. So then you need to uh, provide service. So you will be using some service material. So spares or your time, the service technician's time, that will also represent as a material. So we need to create those materials in the SAP system, so that whenever you attempt to create an order, you need to put that material. So why we need a master data? You are clear by this time, I hope, because every time you cannot attempt to put a new material, or you cannot use the material which create your material whenever you create a sales order. That is time consuming. So first you set up the master data according to your requirement. So we are selling these many products. So a company which sells automobiles will have some 1,000 products which they are selling. All the 1,000 products will be first created in the system. And for example, you have some 1,000 customers, then you create all those 1,000 customers inside the system, so that whenever you create a sales order, you can use that customer and you can directly use that material instead of having to create them at that point of time, which is both time consuming as well as error prone. So you may tend to make mistakes when you attempt to create certain customers or materials. So that in order to avoid all these complexities, we create master data, and then we use those master data as and when required inside our system. Okay, so now let us look at the second master data, which is material master data. So what is a material master data? You create materials in the system, and each material will be created for a particular sales area, and it has many views. It is not only restricted to company code, sales area, general like the customer, but a material master will have different views. Purchasing view, a material can be sold as well as purchased. So purchasing views we need to maintain. We need to maintain sales views. Then we need to maintain information about the accounting. So what is the cost of the material, how the valuation of a material is made, all that will need to be maintained in the accounting related tab. And then we will need to maintain the material in the warehouse, because if you want to store the material in a warehouse, then warehouse specific information has to be fed to that material. So we need to have warehouse related views. Then if you are trying to import the material, then that is a foreign trade related activity, if you are trying to export the material, then you need to provide all the export related information. Then you want to maintain certain kind of a text specific to material. So you might be using some dangerous goods or hazardous materials, so you need to maintain some text stating that this is the property of this material, please take care, like that. So those kind of information will be provided in the text. So there are many such views that will exist for a material master. It is not as simple as a customer master. There are only three views: general view, company code view, sales area view. Whereas the material master will have many views, and it is more complex master data than that of a customer master. So now let us try to look at the material master. So already we have this standard sales order where you see that we are using this material M-05. Now this, let us look at the material master, how this is configured. Now we have copied this material. Now let us go to /n. Now go to logistics, sales and distribution, master data, products. Now material. These are different materials: trading goods, non-stock material, service material, packaging material. So now we want to look at trading goods. These are the transactions that we can use to create, change, display different kind of materials. But on a general note, we can use this transaction MM01, MM02, MM03 to create, change and display any material. So now let us display this material which we have seen, M05. Now select, enter. Now these are the different views. It is, as I told you, it is not only restricted to company code, general data or sales data. There are many views. So just go and select all and then press enter. Now the system will ask you to provide the plant. So based on the sales order, I will provide plant as 1200. sales org 1000, distribution channel 12. Press enter. So this is how a material master will look like. So here you are seeing that this is a trading goods. Here you see basic data 1, basic data 2, classification view, sales org 1, sales org 2, sales general plant, foreign trade export, foreign trade import, sales text, purchasing views, MRP views, forecasting, plant data storage views, accounting view, costing views, stock, plant stock and storage location stock views. So these are the number of views in which you can create a material. So now the important information from a sales and distribution perspective is only this basic data 1, basic data 2, sales org 1, sales org 2, sales general and plant view. So we are only more concerned about these views 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our focus will remain only on these 5 tabs. Other tabs, although they are relatively important, but from other perspective, other modules, like for example, plant data storage 1, plant data storage 2 will have information related to warehouse management activities. Accounting 1, accounting 2, costing 1, costing 2 will be of more significant to the finance consultants. MRP 1, 2, 3, 4 will be of significance to planning consultants. Purchasing view will be important for a purchasing guy or a procurement consultant. So basic data 1 and 2 is common. They are most, it will carry information which is common across all the modules. So our focus will be on basic data 1, 2, sales views 1 and 2, and general plant sales general plant views. So of these, the most significant information you can find in the sales and general plant views. So if you go to the basic data 1, you can see all the basic information. What would be the gross weight? What would be the net weight? What would be the volume? What would be the basic unit of measure? What is the division that is used for this material? What is the material group? Then you go to basic data 2. Inside basic data 2, you can see other important information. And then you can go to sales org 1. Sales org 1, you see material, sales org, distribution channel, what is the base unit of measure, what is the delivering plant, what is the tax related information, what is the sales unit. So base unit and sales unit will be different. Then we see what is the sales org 2 view. So this is having information related to how the material will be, which pricing group the material belongs to. Then we have general plant. Here you have information about the transportation group, loading group, which is more significant, and you will learn about this in the coming sessions. What is the base unit of measure? What is the availability check? This is also very significant. Whether this material is managed in batches. If yes, this will be checked. So this kind of information is present here. Foreign trade export related information. If the material is being exported. Similarly, you have other views where you can go and look at the different fields. In the planning views, you can see what are the different, whether the material is relevant for planning, if so, whether it is externally planned or internally planned. So what is external planning, what is in-house production, all this we will look in details when we look at the availability check related concepts. So what is the lot size? All these are general information that would be present inside the material master. So you can take some time today and you can go through all these screens and see if you are able to gather as much information as possible, which would be relevant for our processing of sales orders. So now this is just by displaying the material. Now you can create your own materials. So if you want to create your own material, you have to go to MM01. So if you want to create a packaging material, you can use this, but this generally you can use these transactions to create any materials or any type of material. Now let us look at how MM01 or how a material create transaction looks like. So now you can select this. Here the system will ask what is the material. So here let us leave this blank because the system itself will propose the name of the material or the material number. So to which industry sector this belongs. So let us try to put this belongs to some chemical industry. What is the material type? So you saw different material types. So why I told we can use MM01 instead of other transaction is here itself you can specify whether you want to create a stock material, whether you want to create a packaging material, whether you want to create a trading goods. So let us try to create a trading goods. So you select this, then press enter. All these views will open. Now you select all these, then continue. Now you in which plant you want to create your material. So now I am creating the material in this plant 1200 and which sales org you want to create. Now let us create it for 1000 and we'll create it for this distribution channel. Press enter. Now these are the different fields that we need to fill in. Now we need to provide this is the material number that the system has proposed automatically. Now we are creating this material. The system is automatically proposed 2071 as the material number. Now whatever fields are marked as tick needs to be mandatorily filled up. Now we create this as test. We put some basic unit of measure PC. Material group you can put it as 0001. Now classification, you can skip this. You can give sales org information. Sales org 2, general plant, transaction group, loading group, so this kind of informations you need to feed into the system, and here you can see this purchasing group. All these things you need to fill up. For purchasing group we can give type, you can give as PD 11 for planning. Don't know what field, what value to enter, go to F4 help. It will provide you with the match codes. Planning delivery time. Okay, so what is this forecast model? Okay, now you have almost completed this and now you are attempting to save this. So now you can see that the material 2071 has been created. Any doubts so far on this material master?
No, sir.
Hello, sir. This is Kuldeep here. Can you please tell us what kind of questions comes in interview?
See, we are too early now because most of the questions that will be asked would be pertaining to the account group as far as customer master goes, and
Okay.
the material master you need to focus more on the sales related tabs. So there only the
Okay.
most of the questions will appear. But still, I will suggest that it is too early for me to comment on that because we are yet to cover all the concepts. So once we cover all the concepts, then I can provide you with an overview of what kind of questions will be asked in the interview. Okay,
Okay. Okay. Sure.
it is
Sure.
too early.
Sure. Thanks.
Just guys, give me 5 minutes. You can try to revisit these concepts. Just give me 5 minutes. I will be back.
रेकॉर्डिंग स्टार्टिंग पासून केली का रे सौरभ? सौरभ
आवाज नाही येते रे, कोण आहे?
Yeah, guys, I'm back. So after you have, so I hope we can continue. Any doubts from anyone before we move further?
Oh, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So material master we have completed. So what are we saw here? We need to use material type, industry star, front of relevant for sales and basic data 1, data sales 2. So these are some of the relevant views as far as material master goes. So you can deep dive into that, and you can come up with your own inputs and information, and you can explore more into this material master, because material master is really a very vast concept. There are so many thousands of fields are present inside the material master, so it is humanly not possible to show you each and every field, but from your side you can go and explore each of the significant fields whichever I have told you, and try to gather more information, because they would be really helpful for you to understand the concepts better, and also from a interview perspective, you could be able to learn more So that is all about the material master, which at this point of time. So now let us get into the next master data, which we call it as the customer material information record. So what is the customer material information record do, and what is the significance of having this customer material information record? So when you are attempting to create a sales order, now in this case, now let us not able to see the screen here. Okay. See, now here you can see that customer has placed an order for this material M05 4 pieces and another material M06 with 5 pieces. Here you have something called the customer's material number. So essentially it will not always be that the same material what you are having in SAP system, the same will not be available in the customer's end. Customer will be calling that material with a different name. So now for example you have this material code as M05 which is available in SAP, and the description of this is flat screen LE50P. Now as far as customer goes, customer, how you expect him to know that the material what you are using for flat screen LE50P is M05? So that is not possible. So the customer will call this as something, they will call it as some flat screen, or they will call it as some 123 or some material they will call it, but that represents M05 in SAP. So how do we make this connect between customers material information and the SAP's material information? So in order to have this connection, we are having this master data called customer material information record. So this customer material information record will be used to maintain customer specific material information. Now the transaction code for that would be okay. Now I can go to the main menu, easy access, go to logistics, go to sales and distribution, master data, conditions. So these are certain conditions that you are maintaining in the system. Sorry, not condition, sorry, agreements. So customer material information, we have these transaction codes VD51, VD52, VD53. So let us try to display any customer material information record which is present for the customer which we create, which we are using. So we try to execute. So okay, so we have this customer material information record maintained for this customer at this sales or distribution channel and for this material. So there is no customer specific material information available here. So just select this and go to details. So the customer's material information is not available here. So what we can do is we can try to create our own customer material info record. Now, for example, we'll go to VD51 transaction. We'll create now our material. We will use M05 and we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as customers material, and then we will go to details. Customer's description is test material, and we'll maintain plant. We'll save this. So now when we are trying to create an order, okay, now let us attempt to create an order for this sales or distribution channel and for this customer 1033, for which customer material number here you can put 1230456. See, I did not give the SAP material number. I only put the customer's material number. So customer's material number 123456. This is the material number which is used by the customer. So the customer will call M05 as 123456. So for this record, I have maintained a customer material information record. So against this customer 1033, for this particular customer, whenever he places order for 123456, the system should automatically understand that you need to supply M05. That is what it means. I never put this material M05. I only entered customer material number here, and the system automatically took the description from the customer's material number and it has populated M05. Now here you see the description no more is picked from M05. It is not showing flat screen LEP something. It is showing test material. This is the description what we provided in the customer material information record. So this is the example of how customer specific material information is stored in SAP system. Any doubts on this part before we move further?
No doubt.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, so fine. So before actually we have certain other significance to this customer material information record. So when we attempted to create this customer material information record, we saw that there are certain fields like plant, delivery priority, minimum delivery quantity, partial delivery per item, maximum partial delivery. So you should be knowing the significance of all these fields. Why? Because whenever the system is attempting to create or looking at this customer material information record, all these fields are more significant. So what is the delivery priority? What is the plant? What is the minimum delivery quantity? All these information will always be picked up from customer material info. Although these information will be stored somewhere else also, but the information that is stored in the customer material info record will take precedence over other information stored in other places. For example, all this information related to delivery priority, minimum delivery quantity will be placed in material master as well, all in customer master also. But if the information is present here, then whenever we attempt to create a sales order, the information will be always fetched. The system first point of looking at the information is customer material info record. It will always look at customer material info record for this information of like plant or delivery priority or minimum delivery quantity, whether partial deliveries are allowed. If it is allowed, what would be the maximum number of partial deliveries that would be allowed. So all this kind of information, although these informations would be present elsewhere also, under delivery tolerance, over delivery tolerance, all these will be present elsewhere also. But the system's first preference would be to check the customer material info record for this information. So in this way, customer material info record is extremely significant and more important to use. If we don't maintain all this information in the customer material info record, then the chances of all these data getting determined automatically in the sales order will become very less. So customer material info record is extremely significant because all these data will be picked up from this customer material info record only. Although if it is maintained elsewhere also, the information what is maintained in customer material will gain precedence. Okay, so are you clear on this? Any queries from anyone on how to create this customer material info record? Hello, I am not able to hear you. Hello, I don't know who is speaking because the audio is not very clear. Hello. Vivek, your audio is not clear. I don't know whether it is only for me, for everyone, how it is.
It's for everyone, sir.
Everyone, sir.
Vivek, you are having some issues with the audio. I am not able to hear clearly. I'm not sure you are talking, or if you have some any queries, you can type in the chat window as well. Okay, so I hope you guys are all clear on the concepts that we have discussed so far. So okay, let us look at some more theoretical concepts. We have seen what is a customer master. We have seen how to create customer. We have seen how to create material master. So we have two more master data concepts, price master and output master is pending. So we will discuss about them more in detail when we cover the price determination and the output determination. So at this point of time, we are not covering those two concepts. We are only covering the customer master, material master, and the customer material info record. And one other important concept which I wanted you to tell is effects of the customer master change. So now let us consider a scenario where you already have a customer master. Okay, so now you have a customer master which is created for 1033 customer, and now you are attempting to make some changes to the customer master. For example, you have made change to the payment term of the customer. So until now the customer was looking at payment at 100 days, so you have given them a credit for 100 days, and now with immediate effect the payment term is changed to 10 days. So no more credit to that customer. They are expecting the customer to make payment within 10 days. So now you have changed the payment term in the customer master. So what would happen to all the sales documents that were created for this customer before this change? the payment term will remain as per the old payment term only. The payment term will not be changed to the new payment term. Only the change will take effect for all the new orders created for this customer. Okay. On the other hand, you made some change to the address of the customer. So instead of some address which were there already, the customer's address has changed. Now what will happen to the other old sales orders created for the customer? In all those old sales orders which were created prior to the change of address also, the new address will be reflected. So that is the effect of this customer master change. So that is what, see, the customer may have moved to a new location, or you may want to change the payment terms. For example, the changes you make to customer master do not affect sales documents that have already been entered for the corresponding customer in the system. If such changes are required, you have to perform them in the documents manually after changing the master data. However, the address of the customer is an exception, and this is always kept current in each document. So even the address you changed now for the customer master, the same address will reflect in the old sales documents that were created prior to this change. So that is the significant effects of changes in the customer master data. So now if you come down here, you see the illustration here. Everybody, are you able to see my screen clearly?
Yes, sir.
So this is a very important concept. See, now you have this old customer master. This is the new customer master. Now you have this customer 2300 with this particular address and with this Incoterm. Now you have changed this to this address, and this is a new Incoterm. Now this is a old sales order which was created before this change. Now in that old sales order, you see the Incoterm is not changed, but the address has changed. Okay, did you get the point?
No, sir. Can you please explain again?
Sorry.
No, sir, I don't get it.
Okay, see, now you have a customer master. Okay, it is having, this is the customer 2300, and you have this address and you have this Incoterm. Now you go to VD02 and you have changed the address and you have changed the Incoterm for this customer 2300. Okay, are you clear
Yes.
until this point?
Yes, yes.
Now there could be old sales orders which are created for this customer 2300 which were created prior to this change. Okay,
Yes.
in those old sales orders, the Incoterm will remain the same as per old Incoterm only. It will not change, although you have changed it. Only the change for Incoterm will take effect for any new sales orders created for this customer. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Whereas address, even though the order was created prior to changing the address will be automatically updated to the new address, even in the old sales orders.
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Clear, clear.
Okay. Kuldeep, you are clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Onkar, Vivek, Vikrant, Saurabh. Okay. I see some background noise, so I'm not sure.
It's from Vivek.
Vivek. Yeah. Okay. Now we also saw what is the material master, how to create material master, what are the different transaction codes that are relevant for creating material master. So then we have something called the division specific sales or the cross division sales. Now when you are customizing the sales document, we will have certain fields where we control a division specific and a cross division sales. Now for example, you create a sales order for a particular sales area. Let us assume that you are trying to create a sales order of type OR. OR is a sales document type which represents a standard sales order. Now OR is the sales document type, and you are creating a sales order for a particular sales area. Say 1000 is the sales org, 12 is the distribution channel, 00 is the division. Now you are attempting to create a sales order for this combination. Now inside that, you are using a material which has a division, for example 07. Now what it means? It is a cross division sales. Now the order is having a sales area with division 00, whereas inside that order you are creating a material, you are adding a material which has a division 07. So this division in the sales order header is different to that of the item. The item's division is now 07, whereas the sales order header, it is having division 00. So now how the system has to react, whether the system has to react with a warning message, or the system should throw an error and should stop further processing, or the system should not respond in any of these ways. How that is happening will be decided based on certain settings inside the sales document type configuration. So that we will look at how this message will appear in case of cross division sales. This is the concept of cross division sales. The header is having a particular division, material is having another division. So now you are attempting to create a sales document of this scenario. So this is a cross division sales, and how the system should behave in this scenario we will decide based on the settings in the sales document type. And we have another concept of how the division is to be copied. So division on the item level, material you are adding inside the sales order, and how the division has to be copied, whether it will be copied from the header or whether it will be copied from the item, it's all from the material. So the material you are attempting to create is having division 07, whereas in the order it is having header with division 00. So now how the division is supposed to be copied, whether it will be copied from the item or it has to be copied from the header, will be again decided based on certain settings which is present in the sales document type configuration. So both these settings, you please make a note of this: division specific and cross division sales. This I will explain where this particular settings is present when we go into the sales document type configuration. So I am making a note of it here. So division specific and cross division sales. So when we cover sales document type configuration, these settings I will show you how to control this feature. So you need to remember this, guys, and I will ask you when we go into that concept. Okay. Customer material info record, VD51, create. What are the significant fields? Plant, minimum, delivery quantity, partial deliveries per item, maximum of partial deliveries, minimum over delivery, these are the significant fields that are present in the customer material info record. Okay, so any doubts on the concepts which we discussed so far? Okay, you guys are very silent today.
No doubt, sir.
Nothing, sir.
Okay, cool. So a small concept which I would like to inform you about this material master before we move further. We saw inside the material master something called the base unit of measure. You remember, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here when we attempted to create material master, 1 second, let me open the material master. So before that, see here we have the option of opening a new GUI window. Similarly, another window will open. So if you don't want to click this, if you put /o, it will open another window. Okay, can go to generate. So at a time you can open only up to 6 windows like this. Okay, so the system will not allow you to open more than that. So you can put /o, it will generate another window. So here you see what is the base unit of measure. Okay, so as far as the base unit of measure, this is the unit of measure which stands as a basis for all the transactions. So all quantity movements in any other unit of measure are typically converted into a base unit of measure. So this is the unit and primary unit of measure, and we have something called the alternate unit of measure. So if a product is managed in the base unit of measure, for example here it is managed in piece, but it is sold in a different unit of measure. So it is sold in a box, for example. Then how do we maintain, like 100 piece makes one box? So that is the conversion factor, for example. So we maintain the conversion factor somewhere, right? So where do we maintain that conversion? So if you go to additional data here, you have the units of measure tab here. Here you maintain the conversion factors. So now alternate unit of measure is also piece only. So you don't see any significant change here. But on the other hand, if there are other materials, I'm not sure if other materials are able to have this kind of conversion factors. Let's check. So here also they have not maintained any conversion factors. So check if yes. Okay. See here you can see the base unit of measure was piece. Again I can show you there. See, the base unit of measure is piece and the alternate unit of measure is box. So for one box comprises of 12 pieces. So whenever the system attempts to create an order for box, it is understood that one box is comprising of 12 pieces. So this is the alternate unit of measure. Then we have something called the sales unit. So this is the unit of measure in which the goods are sold. That example is the box or cartons or pallets or whatsoever it is. Then we have something called the delivery unit. So sales unit is different, delivery unit is different. So delivery unit is the exact physically what is the unit of measure in which the delivery has to happen. So if we maintain that delivery unit is the exact multiples, like for example, if you maintain delivery unit as 30 bottles, then what happens is you cannot deliver 100 bottles. Only in multiples of 30 you can deliver. So that is a delivery unit. So we saw what is a base unit, alternate unit, sales unit, and a delivery unit. Then we have something called the quantity specifications, which is nothing but minimum order quantity and minimum delivery quantity. So minimum order quantity is the minimum quantity that needs to be ordered by the customer. Minimum delivery quantity is the minimum quantity that needs to be delivered. Like you must achieve certain quantity to deliver. If you attempt to create a delivery for less than that quantity, the system will automatically throw a warning message saying that this is less than the prescribed minimum delivery quantity. So this is the information that will usually be maintained in the customer material info record. So if you see here, so we can maintain minimum delivery quantity in the customer material info record. So we go to info record. Here go to details. Here you can maintain minimum delivery quantity. So the system will throw a warning if you attempt to create a delivery less than the minimum delivery quantity. So these are the quantity specifications and the unit of measure specifications as far as the material master goes. So any doubts on this so far? I'm not able to
No,
hear.
sir.
Okay. So can you guys attempt to the exercises today?
Hi, sir. Hello.
Read.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, why do we have to change that measure, maintain that measure?
Why? Because see, certain cases, what would happen is this system in certain business they will prefer to have a minimum quantity to be ordered or minimum quantity to be delivered, right? So, for example, if you go to any this grocery apps or something like that, big basket or something, so there you try to order some product. See, like for example, you are trying to order rice. Okay, so
Yes.
there will be certain cases where they will not allow you to order 500 grams. minimum they will say that minimum will be 1 kg, something like that, or that quantity less than that if you order, it will not be feasible for them to deliver. At least in some other grocery or any other apps, they will say that please minimum order should be for rupees 2000, rupees 2000, less than that they will not be able to deliver. So those kind of restrictions are there, correct?
Okay. Yes, sir.
So that is what we are trying to look at here. So even in SAP, we have similar kind of restrictions like minimum order quantity, minimum delivery quantity. So the customer has to order certain minimum order quantity to satisfy the requirement. And even for example, if they have ordered some 1000 kgs, and if you are trying to attempt to create delivery, if you attempt to create delivery for 100 kg, the system, in case if you maintain minimum delivery quantity as 500, then the system will throw an error saying that minimum delivery quantity is not reached, because they might be using some trucks to transport. In the truck, they will be having capacity for 1000 kg. So if they attempt to carry less than that, then that will not be feasible, or that may end up in some loss to them. So they impose these conditions of minimum order quantity and minimum delivery quantity. It is a very similar example of the order these apps which we are using, like grocery apps or any other apps, where they charge us if we do not order the minimum quantity.
All right, sir.
You understood, right?
Yes, yes. All right.
So any other questions from anyone?
No, sir.
Fine. So now let us try to look at the exercises which we are supposed to do as part of this master data set. So you are able to see my screen, I hope.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now going to unit 3. So today we are looking at unit 3. We have still not covered unit 2. So unit 2 we will cover tomorrow. Okay. So unit 3, you can attempt to create a sorry, before this we have, okay, unit 3. So unit 3, display a customer master record. So enhance a customer master, create customer master. Yeah. From this part, page number 31, you need to create customer master. So they have given all these inputs. So you need to use the relevant T codes, XD01 or VD01, and you need to input all this information and then try to create your own customer. Okay. So these are the address values, these are the control data related. All the values have been provided. You just need to fill those values in the relevant fields and try to create the customer master. Then you need to check what are these other aspects that got determined inside the customer master. So there are more descriptive. These questions and answers are both more descriptive, and there will not be any issues. You can attempt to create them. Fine.
Fine, sir.
Just go through this, then you have exercise on how to enhance a customer. So you need to change some values inside the customer master. So you can attempt that. So then we will have some changing the customer master record. Then exercise on displaying customer master record. So you have all these questions they have asked when you try to attempt to display a customer master, what are happens. So try to enter the answers here, and maybe we can discuss them tomorrow if you have any issues. Don't look at the solutions first, try to attempt them without looking at the solutions, then you will try to understand. And this exercise is about creating a material master record. So wherever you see that you have two symbols, you try to put some number, random number like 21 or 31, anything, the system will accept. Now, okay.
Okay.
So hash, wherever you see, you can put some two random numbers, 21, 31, any such numbers you can put. The system. And you have exercises on creating custom material master record. Creating customer material info record. So sales price. Okay. I have not covered the price master, so maybe so the price conditions I will not touch now, because you need to understand what is a price condition type and then attempt to create condition records for these price condition types, which is the master data for the prices. So we will look at this when we cover the concept of pricing. So at this point of time, we don't need to do this because prices we have still not covered. Okay. So output also we are not covering at this point of time, because output and price both we will cover at this point of output determination and price determination. And now we have something called the common master data, customer common distribution channel, and common divisions. So let us look at the concept of common master data. Go to these. Now, what is this concept of common distribution channel and common divisions? Here, go to sales and distribution. Okay. See, now, whenever we are creating our customer master or material master, if you saw, we are trying to extend our customer to a particular sales area. Now, for example, if we have a sales org 1000 and we have many distribution channels that are operating out of this sales org 1000, and there could be many divisions that are also part of this. So based on the number of distribution channels and number of divisions, the sales area may become more vast. Like the sales org would be 1000, for example, when we look at the sales area configuration. Okay, see now, set up sales area. Here you see that 0001 is this one sales org, or for example, let us take the example of 0005, where you see that there are different distribution channels, and for the same distribution channel 10, you have different divisions. Are you able to see this?
Yes, sir.
For 0005 sales org, we have one distribution channel 10, and for this 10 we have different divisions 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 6, 0, 7, 0, 8, 20 and A1. So now when you are trying to create a customer master, you would be required to create customer master 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times you need to extend a customer, same customer. For example, you have created one customer 1000. The same customer 1000 has to be extended 7 times to the sales area, only the sales area. So instead of doing that, if you create a common distribution channel and a common division, then we can assign all our divisions to that common division, and it is enough if we extend our customer master to that particular sales area which has a common division. So now see, for example, sales and distribution star data, so common divisions. So now we can define common division as 0, 0. So this 0, 0 has been defined as a common division, and all these divisions which fall under sales org 05, 01, 02, 04, 06, 07 have been assigned to 0, 0. So it is enough if we create or extend customer master to 0, 0, 05, distribution channel 10 and 0, 0 division. So because 0, 0 is a common division, all the divisions which we saw in the other screen, like, not sure why I'm not able to navigate between these different screens. Now here you can see all these are the divisions 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 6, 0, 7. Now all these divisions 0, 1, 0, 6, 0, 7, 0, 8, 20 and A1 have been assigned to the common division
0,
0, 0. So okay. So now all these divisions 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 4, A1 until A1 has been assigned to this cross division 0, 0. So whenever you are attempting to create a customer master, it is enough if we extend the customer to sales org 0, 0, 0, 5, distribution channel 10 and division 0, 0. All the divisions which are assigned to this 0, 0 will be considered in that. So no need to extend a customer 7 times. Only once if we create it, it is enough. That is the concept of common divisions. Similarly, we have something called common distribution channel. So there could be many distribution channels. Here you see there are many distribution channels that are associated with 0005, and here you can use the common distribution channel. Now here you can see 0, 1, 10, These are all common distribution channels, although they have not explicitly mentioned here. These are the common distribution channels which we can be using. Here, like division, they have not used a common distribution channel, they have used the same distribution channel. So nevertheless, you can create one distribution channel and you can assign them. You can create one distribution channel as a common distribution channel and you can assign them to these all distribution channels. That is also similar way you can create, how you create for the division. So this is the concept of minimizing the number of master record creation. So the same customer, you don't need to require to be extended to 7 different sales areas. For the same material, you don't require to create it for 7 different sales areas. It is enough if we create it once with a common distribution channel and common division. Okay, are you clear on this concept?
Sir, hello.
Yeah.
Could you please repeat that common division?
See, okay, 1 second. See, now for
Yes.
you have this sales area. These are the sales areas that are created for distribution channel 10 and these many divisions. Okay, you have how many sales orgs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sales areas that are configured for 0005 distribution channel 10 with different divisions. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, when you want to create a customer master, you have to create customer master 7 times. The same customer you need to extend to different sales areas to use them. Okay. Instead of extending the same customer 7 times, what you can do, you can create one division as a common division and you can assign all those divisions to that common division. That is what they have done here. So they have now created one common division 00 here and they have assigned it to all these divisions 01, 02, 04, 07, 07. Here you can see, right, the common division. They have assigned it to all these divisions. So now there is no need for us to create 7 different views of the same customer. It is enough if we create only once with the division 00. It will apply for all the divisions which are assigned to 00. Okay.
Yes, sir. But how do we assign it? That's what my concern, sir.
How do you assign means, like here they have already assigned it, right?
Okay, means we don't have to assign it.
If you want, you can create your own entries here. Okay.
All right, sir.
No, I didn't understand what you are trying to ask.
Means, sir, if I have to assign
Mhm.
one division under that, so how means how they create that 00 division and assign all this 01, 02, 04 under that.
That's what they have done here, right?
Yes, sir, they have already done it, but we need to make the new assignments. I mean, new
New
entries.
entries you need to create. That's all.
So where we can do that?
Now, sales areas are blocked by other users. You can only display them. So now we don't have an option. I cannot show you now because it is blocked.
So there will be a new entries option.
New entry option will come here after this. If we go to display to change, selection function is not supported. So when a new entry option comes there, you can go and add, you can create a division as a common division. You can go here you can go to divisions in the enterprise structure. Okay, definition, inside logistics general, you can create your own division. Okay, you can create one division, for example like Z1 or something. You can create like this, you can create one division. Okay,
Yes, sir.
now for example you created this division, and after you created this division, this you assume that you are going to use this division as a common division. Now you go back and go to the common division configuration. There go to common, define common division. There what will happen ideally is here you will get an option to add new entries, because now you are not getting that option because it says sales areas are blocked by other users, you can only display them. So there, once you get an option for new entry, you need to put your cross division Z1 here, and you need to put your sales org here, and all these divisions for your sales org you can add here. Now in this example what you are seeing here, this 0005 is using these many divisions: 00, 01, 02, 04, 06, 07, 08, 10, 20, A1. Now all these divisions have been assigned to a cross division 00. So whenever you extend a customer master, it is enough if you extend it only once to division 00. You don't need to each and every time, you don't need to go and extend it to these individually to all these divisions, because these are already assigned to a common division 00. Whenever the system looks at 00, it will understand that it is will take these divisions into consideration. Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Because this is blocked, I am not able to show you how the new entries would get added here. So maybe tomorrow let us see if they are open, or you can also check in your respective systems if this is opening in change mode, and then you can let me know if you are able to look into this. Okay.
Light, sir. Yes, okay.
Now we have something called handling of incomplete documents. So this is a very small concept. These details we will look into it when we cover the incompletion procedure. So for example, what happens is whenever you attempt to create a sales order, okay, so in case if some of the important fields are missing, then the system should not allow you to process this sales order further. So it will not allow you to save the sales order, or even if it allows you to save the sales order, the system will not allow you to create delivery for that sales order. Likewise, we can set up our own fields that will cause a document to become incomplete, and how the system has to react for those incomplete documents. So this is the concept which we call it as incompleteness check, and we have an incompletion procedure that will be assigned to the document type. And inside that incompletion procedure, we will have different fields that will be maintained. So in each and every field, if it is incomplete, how the system has to react for that incompleteness, we will maintain inside that incompleteness check procedure. So that is a high level understanding of how to handle incompleteness in the sales documents. So that is what is mentioned here. When you create documents within the sales and distribution process, it might happen that some data and the corresponding master records are missing, and therefore cannot be copied into the document. So for example, if some relevant very important information, like for example net weight of the material is missing in the material master itself, then that information will not be copied into the sales order, right? Because when you attempt to create a sales order, you are using the master data to copy the values from that master data will be copied to the sales order. So in case if the master data itself is incomplete, then the order will not have that information. And how the orders will behave if it is incomplete, we will decide based on the settings in the incompleteness procedure. If you are not able to maintain the respective fields manually because you don't know the correct values, so you don't know what will be the weight of the material, because usually the weight will be maintained in the material master. So in the material master, if you don't have the weight, and obviously that information will not be copied into the sales order, so how you will know what is be the weight of the material? So that document will remain incomplete. The saving of incomplete documents can be permitted if the system is customized correspondingly. So how the system has to behave for such incompleteness, whether the system will react by throwing up an error message, or it will be just a warning message, or the system will ignore that incompleteness, will depend on the criticality of the field. For example, if you don't have a plant information, if you don't have the information about the plant in the sales order, definitely there is no use of saving the sales order, because the system will not be able to create delivery. And if you don't have the plant in the sales order, there will not be shipping point that would get determined. So there is no point in saving the sales order. So the system will obviously not allow us to create subsequent documents. So and it will throw an error. So how the system has to behave when such fields are incomplete will be decided based on our settings inside the incompleteness procedure, and that incompleteness procedure will be assigned to the sales document type. In our case, OR is the standard sales document type that we are using, and to that OR we have certain incompleteness procedures assigned at the item at the header levels. So this is the high level understanding or concept of the incompleteness check. So now here you see here sales order you are trying to create for this sold to 2300. Purchase order number you have left it blank, you have left payment terms blank. Here you enter two line items. First line with material 1400-100 for quantity of 10, and second line you have entered material 1400-200 with quantity of 10, and here the weight is determined based on the material master settings for this material, whereas for this material the weight is not come here automatically because the weight information might be missing in this material master. So now when you attempt to save the sales order, the system will say that these are all the missing data at the item level. So the PO number is missing, the terms of payment is missing at the header level, and at the item level the weight of this line item number 10 is missing. So how the system has to react will be decided based on the incompleteness check that we will maintain. So the more detailed information about the incompleteness check we will cover in the further sessions. So this is just an example or an idea of what an incompleteness check will do. Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So maybe you can go through the different exercise concepts, and then maybe you can come up with your questions, anything if you have, and then maybe we will take up this tomorrow in our session. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So today I think we have covered quite a lot of concepts related to master data, customer master, material master, customer material info record. Then we saw what is common master data, like common distribution channel, common division, how significant it is, what is the overall design or high level information on the incompleteness check. So we have two more master data, price master and condition master, which we will cover when we do the output and the pricing procedure determination concepts. At that point of time, I will show you how to create the master record for price and output. So I request you guys to go through the concepts, theoretical as well as practical exercises for unit number 3, except the price and the output master. All the other exercises I think you can carry out on your own. And if you face any challenges, please do reach out to me. You can call me on my number, or you can ping me on WhatsApp as well. So anybody, can you take an initiative and create a WhatsApp group for 6 of us? I hope you guys have my number as well. So
Yes, sir.
can you just create a WhatsApp group and we can remain connected on that? In case if you have any issues on that, you can post it so that whenever I find time, I can try to respond to you on that. Okay.
Sure, sir.
Okay. Who is going to take up the initiative?
I'll make the group.
Okay. Fine. So you can create the WhatsApp group. I hope you have my number with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You can create a WhatsApp group, and then maybe we can remain connected on that. So let us continue our discussion tomorrow with further concepts. Starting from tomorrow, we will discuss with the sales processes pertaining to Unit 2. So tomorrow we will connect morning at 6 o'clock, and we will continue with our discussions. In the meanwhile, I kindly request you to complete the practical exercises. And the guys who are not able to access the system, please do reach out to the training coordinator